I have created a Balkan League system in FootballManager featuring 34 clubs from 12 countries, simulating 50 seasons into the future. Which club will win the most trophies and be crowned the champions of the Balkan region? Hey, how's it going, and welcome to another Super League video. And up in today's video, I have created a Balkan Super League and a Balkan First League as well, taking over the Bulgarian league system for today's video. Got one Super League with 16 teams, and then we have a First League with 18 teams. Before we go any further, I'd like to point out though that there's actually no universal agreement what actually constitutes a Balkan country. So of course this is definitely up for debate. We've got 12 countries on show here today, and probably the most likely country to miss out on today's video are Slovenia. From my research though, maybe I'm completely wrong, but Slovenia more associate themselves with Central Europe than they do as a Balkan country. So for that reason, I have not included Slovenia in today's video as one of the nations. We've got Greece on show here today though. We've also got European Turkey. I'll go into more detail of that in a second. Of course, we've got Bulgaria here as well, Croatia, Croatian teams, shall I say. Also, we've got Romanian teams. We've also got Serbian clubs as well. And going down to the First League, got more of the smaller nations, such as Montenegro, Albania, of course, Kosovo as well, Moldova, Bosnia, and North Macedonia as well. So 12 countries in total. We look at the Super League first of all. Well, the big teams that stand out are of course teams such as Galatasaray, Besiktas, Dinamo Zagreb as well, Ludogorets, Olympiacos, Red Star, Partizan, Steaua Bucharest. So many clubs on show here today, many big clubs as well. So first of all, the Turkish situation here. We're only including 3 teams from Turkey in this video, from the European side of Turkey. Of course, many of you probably will know this already, but most of Turkey actually does fall in Asia, and also it basically splits through half of Istanbul. So we've got 3 clubs in here today. They're all from Istanbul, and they're all from the European side of Istanbul. So the big miss out are Fenerbahce, for example, who actually come under the Asian side of Istanbul. That is apparently, according to my research, where the Balkan region does stop, is halfway through Istanbul. So Besiktas, Başakşehir, and Galatasaray are the 3 teams from Turkey here on the European side of Istanbul. Also the Romanian clubs as well. The biggest club from Romania is actually Steaua Bucharest from the video, because the Romanian south coast is more associated with the Balkan region than the northern or central regions of Romania from my research. Again, this is all up for debate. I may be completely wrong, but the biggest team for Romania these days are of course CFR Cluj, but they are located in the northern part of Romania in Transylvania. So that is why I decided to not include CFR Cluj as well. So as I said, we've got 16 teams in the Balkan Super League. Also, some of you addressed some issues in my previous Super League videos, which included about the generated players going forward to the future. For this video, I believe that has been sorted out, because thanks to some recommendations on my other YouTube videos there, I have managed to set all these nations on show here in Bulgaria as non-foreign clubs. So that means the regens they produce throughout the seasons here will, or should be, most of them, come out as their own nation. So for example, Galatasaray, their regen players will be Turkish, and Ludogorets will be Bulgarian still, of course. Olympiacos will be Greek, etc. So that should help with that issue as well. Also, I've increased the reputation of the Bulgarian league system here to be the 8th biggest in Europe at the start. I think that's pretty fair, to be honest, with the teams we have on show here, such as Galatasaray, as I said, Olympiacos, just below the Portuguese Premier League here in the competition reputation. Also, I have increased the Balkan First League up to be the 42nd biggest league in Europe at the start of the video here as well. And also on top of that, I've increased the Bulgarian generated youth players. I've increased that as well. So first of all, as I said, 16 teams in the Balkan Super League. I already mentioned the big teams here in the Super League. We've got teams from Greece, Turkey, Bulgaria, Croatia, Serbia and Romania in the Super League. Yeah. Also, every single club is sorted by reputation. So the 16 biggest clubs from the Balkan region here are in the Super League, and the next 18 biggest clubs are in the First League. Go down to the First League, as I said, got more of the smaller nations on show here, the smaller teams such as Budućnost, who are the biggest team from Montenegro. We've also got Falo Constanta in here as well, which is a city in Romania on the coast. Partizani are a team from Albania, along with KF Tirana as well. Still got a couple of Bulgarian teams in here, such as the Plovdiv teams, Botev Plovdiv and Lokomotiv Plovdiv. Osijek from Croatia in here as well. Also from Moldova as well. The biggest club from Moldova are actually Sheriff Tiraspol, but seen as Tiraspol, the city, falls in the breakaway region of Transnistria. I've decided not to include them. I've included the more Moldovan teams, such as Petro Club Hinchesti, who are the latest Moldovan champions, if I'm not mistaken. And also, who's the other team? Zimbro Chisinau as well. Also, I decided to make sure I included the capital city, a club from a capital city from every single one of these 12 countries as well. So Zimbro Chisinau from Moldova as well, which is the capital of Moldova. Also in here we've got Skendia as well, which is a North Macedonian team. But what been pointed out in the past is Skendia are a North Macedonian team, but they're actually supported by Albanian clubs. Also Vardar in here as well, who I think are a quote an official North Macedonian team. And also finally, the smallest club of the video are Pristina, who are the only team represented here from Kosovo. Every other nation has at least 2 clubs in the Super League or First League here, but Kosovo only have 1 club, and that is Pristina, with a 1-star reputation at the start of the video here. Along with the 2 leagues, I've also created a Balkan Cup as well, and also a Balkan Super Cup as well. You may notice there's no history here for the competitions as well. That is because I've removed all the history of the Bulgarian league system here, so we start all from scratch. So it's basically just completely a new league system, albeit though the Bulgarian league system has been taken over for the sake of this experiment. So if you're new to my Super League videos, basically what happens is we go forward 50 seasons into the future. We stop off at 5 season intervals, and at the end of the video I'll count up all the trophies in total. That includes the Super League, the Cup, the Super Cup, and in the European wins as well, to see who will be crowned the champions of the Balkan region at the end of the video. So before we actually get started, then let's actually look at the reputation of the teams here. It's pretty obvious though who the biggest club from the region are. That is of course Galatasaray, with a 4-star continental reputation, but they're joined with 4 stars along with Besiktas as well. So these 2 clubs are the 2 biggest at the start of the video here. But we've also got a lot of 3.5-star teams just below these 2 Turkish clubs here, which include AEK, Olympiakos, Dinamo Zagreb, Panathinaikos, PAOK, Başakşehir, Ludogorets, and Red Star Belgrade as well. So even though Galatasaray and Besiktas are the biggest clubs at the start from the Balkan region here, we've got many other big clubs in the league system. So it's I'm very excited about how this is going to turn out, to be honest. Obviously Galatasaray and Besiktas will be the favourites to win the most trophies, but I don't think it's going to be as simple as that, because there's many big clubs here on show. Even in the First League, there's big clubs, a lot of 3-star teams in the First League. Interestingly enough, though, there's actually no 2.5-star clubs of the video. I actually didn't notice that at the start here. So there's a big gap from the Lokomotiv Plovdiv, who are the lowest rated 3-star team, to the next team, which is 2 stars, which is Skendia. So these teams here, Skendia, the Albanian teams, Tirana, Partizani, Petro Club Hinchesti as well, Vardar, etc. It's going to take a lot for these teams to do a lot in the video, it has to be said. But also, as I said, the lowest team of the league system here are Pristina, with that 1-star regional reputation. Can they do anything in the video? Well, without further ado, let's go forward now to 5 seasons into the future. Which team will be the early dominant force? Also, I should mention that if you do want to play this database for yourself, there'll be a link down in the description below. You can download the database and select any team you like to manage in this league system. Also, if you have access to the FM editor, then you can also make your own changes to the league system as well. For example, if you're Slovenian and you firmly believe that Slovenian clubs should be featured in this video or in this database, you can make your own changes and include Slovenian clubs in the database. So after 5 seasons, in terms of the reputation, no changes so far. Galatasaray and Besiktas are still the top 2 clubs of the Balkan region here. Galatasaray maintain their continental reputation, where Besiktas has declined to be a national reputation club, albeit though still a 4-star club. We've still got a lot of 3.5-star clubs though. Again, not much changes so far. Olympiakos, Dinamo, Panathinaikos, AEK, Red Star, Başakşehir, and PAOK, all that 3.5-star reputation. Ludogorets have declined to only be a 3-star club at the moment, as what I can see here. Other than that, I can't really notice too many declines or increases from any of the clubs so far, but we have only played 5 seasons so far. So, into the Super League, and the early dominant force are Galatasaray. Can't say I'm too surprised about that. They have won 3 of the first 5 Super League titles. Interesting enough, though, you're yet to defend a Super League title. Besiktas have won one as well in 2025, and we have our first Greek winner as well in Olympiacos, who won the Super League in 2027. Also, this league system here in Bulgaria is actually quite interesting. We've got 16 clubs. They play each other twice, so 30 games in total. Then the league gets split up. As you can see here, it says preliminary phase. We've got a championship, which goes into 6 teams. They play 5 more games, the top 6 clubs, to determine who the champion will be. And we also have a relegation stage as well. A further 6 teams, again, play 5 more games to see who will get relegated. And we also have the second phase as well. And the winner of the second phase, which is the remaining 4 clubs, they will go into a playoff to see who will qualify for European football. So, yeah, not quite a straightforward league, but not too strange, it has to be said. Kind of interesting in my opinion. But in terms of the actual winner of this latest season, that was Galatasaray, of course. Only 2 points clear of Besiktas in second place there. And in terms of the relegated clubs, well, Rijeka from Croatia and Sarajevo from Bosnia have both been relegated to the first league. In terms of the first league, that is more simple. It's just 34 games played in the season. Every team plays each other twice. No one goes into any sort of stage. In terms of the latest champions of the first league, that goes to Levski Sofia from Bulgaria, of course. And they've been provided along with Universitatea Craiova from Romania. In terms of big teams here in the first league, well, CSK Sofia are down here in the first league, along with Partizan as well, who are not doing too well at the start here. Other than that, no real team has really declined that much in the first 5 seasons. Well, in terms of the Balkan Cup, that has also been dominated by the Turkish clubs, but the first ever winner of the Balkan Cup was actually Dinamo Zagreb, who won the first ever Balkan Cup. After that, though, Besiktas won back-to-back cups, and after that, Galatasaray won back-to-back cups. In the Balkan Super Cup, and the first ever winner of the Super Cup was Dinamo as well. After that, back-to-back wins for Besiktas, and Galatasaray are the latest winners of the competition. Well, in terms of European football, we had a team qualify for the Europa League final. That was Galatasaray, but unfortunately, they lost that final to RB Leipzig in a 2025 final. We've also had our first ever winner of the European competition. That is the Europa Conference League, and that goes to Dinamo Zagreb. And they actually beat Galatasaray in that final. So Galatasaray have actually lost 2 European finals already in the first 5 seasons. 1 Europa League final and 1 Europa Conference League final. Dinamo yet to win a Super League title, but they have won a cup, a Super Cup, and the first team to win a European trophy. Let's go forward now to 10 seasons. Will the Turkish clubs still be on top? Well, 10 seasons played now and still no changes in terms of the reputation. Galatasaray still on top with 4-star continental reputation, and Besiktas in second place with a 4-star national reputation. The 3.5-star clubs, though, have declined massively in the last 5 seasons. Only 4 teams with a 3.5-star reputation now, and they are Olympiacos, Dinamo Zagreb, Panathinaikos, and PAOK. Well, in terms of the Super League, these Istanbul clubs have taken it to a new level now, because the last 6 winners of the Super League have been either Galatasaray or Besiktas. Besiktas actually won back-to-back Super Leagues in 2029-2030, but after that, Galatasaray have won 3 in a row from 2031 to 2033. Galatasaray won this latest league title quite comfortably as well, 8 points clear of Dinamo in second place. And then we have PAOK in third, Olympiacos in fourth, both from Greece, of course. Besiktas and Red Star make up the top 6 in total there. And all 6 of these clubs have qualified for European football, which is nice to see. It shows that our teams are doing very well in the European competitions. In terms of relegated clubs, well, FC Rapid Bucharest have been relegated along with AEK Athens as well, which is quite a big of a shock because they're one of the bigger teams at the start of the video, AEK. So they're down in the first league as well, and Steaua Bucharest just survived from relegation, it seems. Well, into the first league, and the latest champions have been Ludogorets, who of course are the biggest club from Bulgaria these days, and they've been promoted along with Partizan as well. So to see these 2 in the first league is quite shocking, really, especially so early on. But they have both been promoted back to the Super League, but Ludogorets and Partizan should not be in the first league, let's be honest. Also, CSK Sofia are not doing very well here in the first league still. And in terms of relegated clubs, well, Petro Club Hinchesti and KF Tirana have both been relegated down to the third tier. Also, of course, 4 teams get relegated from the first league every single season, so we will see some lower ranked Bulgarian clubs in the video, such as Lokomotiv Gorna and Chavdar Etchopoli as well, who have both been relegated along with those 2 clubs. Well, in terms of the Balkan Cup, that as well is being dominated by the Istanbul clubs. 4 of the last 5 winners have been from Istanbul. Galatasaray actually made it 3 cups in a row in 2029. Then Besiktas won it again in 2030. PAOK won it in 2031, and now Galatasaray have won back-to-back Balkan Cups. Into the Super Cup, and a little bit more variety in the Super Cup. Olympiacos won it in 2029. Galatasaray have won 2 more Super Cups. Aris, who are a Greek club, have won their first cup of the competition in 2031, and Osijek are the latest winners from Croatia in 2033. Well, it seems like we have a European expert on our hands here, because Dinamo have won their 2nd Europa Conference League of the video already. They beat AZ Alkmaar in the 2032 final. They're the only team to reach to win a European trophy so far, and they've won 2 now, albeit both the Europa Conference League. Also, though, their counterparts Hajduk reached the following final, but unfortunately they lost to Lazio in that final. So only 10 seasons played. Obviously, the Istanbul clubs are dominating the Super League as it stands, but Dinamo Zagreb are the best force in the European football. Can any team stop these Istanbul clubs going forward into 15 seasons into the future? Before we go any further in this video though, guys, please remember that if you do like the video, hit that like button for me. It's very important for the video's success. And also, if you're new around here and you want to see more Super League videos, do hit that subscribe button as well. It would really help me out and it's much appreciated. So 15 seasons played now and still no change at the top here. Galatasaray are still the top club of the Balkan region here, and now they're the only team with a 4-star reputation, because Besiktas have declined over the last 5 seasons. But the good news is though, we have a lot more teams with a 3.5-star reputation. We've got Olympiacos, Dinamo, PAOK, Panathinaikos, Besiktas in 6th place, then Başakşehir, Hajduk and Red Star as well. So Besiktas have declined. They're still a 3.5-star team, but Galatasaray's closest rivals these days now are Olympiacos. Well, in terms of the Super League, Galatasaray have been absolutely dominant. They actually won 7 Super Leagues in a row from 2031 to 2037. They have finally been stopped though, and they have been stopped by Olympiacos, who won their 2nd Super League title in 2038. In the first 15 seasons here though, only 3 clubs have won the Super League so far from 2 countries. Besiktas have won 3 in total, Olympiacos have won 2, and Galatasaray have won 10. If we actually look at this league table, this season just gone here, Olympiacos only just won the league title over Galatasaray, only 1 point clear of them. Also, we only got 4 teams qualifying for European football now, so obviously the coefficients have gone down in the last 5 seasons quite significantly. Well, in terms of relegated clubs, well, Rijeka and AEK have been relegated again down to the first league. I'm quite surprised how poor AEK Athens are doing in these early stages, I have to be honest. Also, fellow Greek club Aris only just surviving relegation this season. Down into the first league, and the latest champions have been CSKA Sofia. They've been promoted along with fellow Bulgarian club Ludogorets and also Faro Constanta from Romania as well. So it seems like Aris did not survive relegation, because Faro Constanta beat them in the playoff final. So I don't know why I didn't say they've been relegated, because they clearly have been. But yeah, 2 Bulgarian clubs, the 2 biggest Bulgarian clubs, back into the Super League, which is nice. But still, Partizan are still down here in the first league, not doing particularly very well. And in terms of relegated clubs, well, FK Partizani from Albania and Skendia from North Macedonia have both been relegated to the 3rd tier. Into the Balkan Cup, and Galatasaray made it 3 in a row in 2034. Dinamo won another Balkan Cup though in 2035, followed by Olympiacos, then Galatasaray again, and the latest winners are Besiktas. Into the Super Cup, and that has been dominated by Galatasaray. They have won 4 of the last 5 Super Cups, Galatasaray. Olympiacos though have also won 1 in 2037. Well, after 15 seasons in terms of the trophy race, in joint 3rd place we have Olympiacos and Dinamo Zagreb, who have both won 5 trophies apiece. In 2nd place, you have Besiktas with 9 trophies so far, but way out in 1st place with 24 trophies in 15 seasons are Galatasaray. Can someone stop Galatasaray's dominance in the next 5 seasons after 20 seasons? Well, it's taken 20 seasons here, but finally someone has knocked Galatasaray off the top here in terms of reputation, and it is Olympiacos. They are now the only club with a 4-star continental reputation. And in terms of 3.5-star clubs, still got a lot of 3.5-star clubs. PAOK in 2nd place, of course, another Greek team there. Galatasaray now the 3rd biggest club. Then Dinamo, Besiktas, Hajduk, Panathinaikos, Steaua Bucharest, Osijek, Basikshir and Red Star Belgrade. So a lot of big teams here, still a 3.5-star reputation, but the big boys at the moment after 20 seasons are Olympiacos. Well, and I can see why Olympiacos are the big boys of the Balkan region now, because they actually won 5 Super Leagues in a row from 2038 to 2042. The good news is, though, we have our 4th different winner of the Super League and also the 3rd different country, and that is Hajduk, who have won the latest Super League title in 2043. Of course, Hajduk are a Croatian team from the city of Split. Not really the Croatian team I was expecting to win the Super League. That would be Dinamo Zagreb. So Hajduk a little bit out of nowhere here, winning the latest Super League title. They won the Super League 4 points clear of Olympiacos there in 2nd place, and Steaua in 3rd place, Panathinaikos in 4th, then PAOK in 5th, and Aris in 6th place. So the most interesting thing about this is there's no Galatasaray or Besiktas in the championship group from this season, so it looks like no European football for them. And also good news is we actually have 6 teams qualifying for European competitions again. But look at that, in terms of the 2nd phase, so the 4 teams that don't qualify for the championship group or the relegation stage, big teams are there: Besiktas, Dinamo Zagreb and Galatasaray here in the 2nd phase group here. So these 3 clubs not done particularly very well in this latest season. And in terms of relegated clubs, well, Rapid Bucharest and CSKA Sofia have both been relegated to the First League. Talking of the First League, and the latest champions have been Rijeka from Croatia, and also Vardar from North Macedonia have been promoted to the Super League, which is nice to see. I think that probably might be one of the probably the lowest team to reach the Super League at this stage, to be honest. Vardar are actually a 2-star team at the start of the video here, so yeah, good for them. A great story for them. Partizan are still down here in the First League, along with Ludogorets as well, who are both not doing particularly very well from the video here. And in terms of relegated clubs, well, no team actually from outside of Bulgaria have been relegated in this latest season, unless you don't count Dinamo B squad, of course. In terms of the Balkan Cup, and the latest dominant force have been Greek clubs. Olympiacos won it in 2039, then Hajduk won it in 2040, Galatasaray won it in 2041, but PAOK from Salonika, who are a team from Salonika, maybe I pronounced it completely wrong there, but also known as Thessaloniki, I believe, they have won the last 2 Balkan Cups in 2042 and 2043. In the Super Cup, that has also been dominated by Greek clubs, mainly one Greek club in particular, that is Olympiacos, of course. They have won 3 of the last 5 Super Cups. Hajduk won another one in 2041, and Galatasaray won it in 2042. So looking at this domestically, the big boys of the last 5 seasons have been Olympiacos, of course, but also Hajduk are starting to win competitions as well. Also, talking of PAOK, they actually reached the Europa Conference League final as well in 2042, but unfortunately they lost that final to Anderlecht. So at the moment, Olympiacos from Greece are on top. Will they still be on top after 25 seasons? Well, Olympiacos are not on top anymore, because that goes to Hajduk, who are now officially the top club from the Balkan region here. The sad news is, though, we actually haven't got a 4-star team from the region anymore, which is quite sad to say. So we have got a lot of teams on a similar level here. A lot of teams are a 3.5-star reputation. Hajduk on top there, of course, followed by Olympiacos in 2nd place. Then we have Steaua Bucharest, then PAOK, Osijek, Dinamo, then Galatasaray, are now only the 7th biggest club of the Balkan region at the moment, then Panathinaikos, then Besiktas, Aris and Basikshir. So Besiktas and Galatasaray have declined quite a lot in the last 10 seasons or so. Of course, they have still got a 3.5-star reputation, but this is not sorted alphabetically, as you can see here. They've all got a slightly different reputation rating, and Hajduk are a stronger 3.5-star team than Galatasaray are. Well, in the Super League, it's starting to get a little bit interesting now, because no real dominant force over the last 5 seasons, and a few more countries have won. A few more teams, have won a Super League title. Well, I say no real dominant force. Well, Hajduk have been a little bit dominant here. They went back-to-back Super League titles in 2044. After that point, PAOK won their first ever Super League title from Greece, of course. Osijek, the 2nd Croatian team to win a Super League title, won it in 2046. Then we have our first ever Romanian winner of the video. That goes to Steaua Bucharest, who won in 2047. And in this latest season just gone, Hajduk back to winning ways in 2048. So we actually look at the last 6 Super League titles. Not really teams we predict to win the Super League. Not really the bigger teams of the video here. Hajduk won 3. PAOK have won 1, Osijek 1, and Steaua 1 as well. In this latest championship phase, Hajduk won the league title 3 points clear of PAOK in second place. And then we have Steaua, Olympiacos, Osijek, and Dinamo making up the top 6 here. So we've got 3 teams from Croatia, 2 from Greece, and 1 from Romania. Wow, how the mighty have fallen here. Galatasaray just surviving relegation in this latest season with a minus 24 goal difference. What on earth has happened to Galatasaray in the last 5 seasons or so? Absolutely terrible. In terms of relegated teams though, well, Sozopol, who are actually a lower ranked Bulgarian team, have been relegated along with University Craiova from Romania, and it looks like Vardar from North Macedonia have just survived relegation in this latest season. Well, in the Balkan First League, and the latest champions are Red Star, who are absolutely dominant in this latest season just gone. They're 22 points clear of Ludogorets in second place and AEK in third place. Both of those two have been promoted as well, but how the mighty have fallen here. Galatasaray almost get relegated, and the top 3 clubs here are 3 of the biggest clubs at the start of the video. Red Star, Ludogorets and AEK should not be playing in the First League. They are promoted back to the Super League, but can they actually stay there for the future? Well, in terms of the actually most disappointing team of the video so far, it probably goes to Partizan, to be honest. Partizan, 11th in the league in the First League, so not doing very well at all. But also CSK Sofia aren't doing particularly very well either. Into the Balkan Cup, and Steaua made it a Balkan Cup win in 2044. PAOK actually won 3 out of 4 Balkan Cups in 2045. Besiktas back to winning ways, winning back-to-back cups in 46 and 47. The latest champions though are Hajduk, who won it in 2048. Into the Super Cup, we have 5 different winners over the last 5 seasons. We have Hajduk in 44, followed by Steaua, then PAOK, then Osijek, and then Besiktas. Oh, we've had another team reach the Europa Conference League final, but unfortunately, again, they have lost that final. That was Steaua Bucharest, who lost the 2046 final to Standard Liège. So still, after 25 seasons, we've only had 1 team win a European trophy, and that is Dinamo, who won 2 Europa Conference Leagues, of course. But interesting about Dinamo is they're yet to win a Super League title, where 2 other Croatian clubs, Hajduk and Osijek, have both won a Super League. Well, after 25 seasons in third place, we have Besiktas with 12 trophies so far. In second place, we have Olympiacos with 13 trophies so far. And still way out in first place are Galatasaray, who have won 28 trophies now in 25 seasons. But Galatasaray are doing absolutely terribly in these latest seasons. Only just surviving relegation in this latest season just gone. But the closest team to them are Olympiacos, who are 15 trophies behind them. They themselves haven't won a Super League title since 2042. So can we see one of these big boys get back to winning ways in the Super League after 30 seasons? Well, after 30 seasons, Hajduk are still the biggest club from the Balkan region, and they've also got their 4-star reputation back, albeit a national reputation, but we have a 4-star team back from the region here, which is nice to see. In terms of 3.5-star teams, well, Steaua in second place now, followed by 2 Croatian teams in Dinamo and Osijek. Then we have 2 Greek clubs in Olympiacos and PAOK. Then Besiktas, Panathinaikos, Aris, and Galatasaray just making it to be a 3.5-star team these days. So Galatasaray don't seem to have picked it up in the last 5 seasons, unfortunately. Well, in the Super League, and we have a new dominant force, it seems. Hajduk actually made it 3 Super Leagues in a row from 2048 to 2050. Finally, Dinamo won their first Super League title. So the 3rd team from Croatia, they won it in 2051. But the latest champions, back-to-back Super Leagues, for Steaua Bucharest from Romania. They won it in 2052 and 2053. They have, of course, already won the Super League in 2047, but now they've done something different now. They've won back-to-back Super League titles. Pretty tight this season, though, in terms of the championship group. Steaua only 4 points clear of Hajduk and Dinamo, both in 2nd and 3rd place there. Osijek made it 3 Croatian clubs in a row in 4th place. Then Olympiacos in 5th, and Galatasaray improved a little bit in the last 5 seasons, finishing 6th in the league, but still obviously nowhere near good enough for them. In terms of relegated clubs, well, Sozopol, who are that minor Bulgarian club, along with Red Star, who are back in the Super League, but they have been relegated again, and AEK just survived from relegation. Wow, in the First League, and the latest champions have been Zimbru Chisinau from Moldova, who actually won the title this season, promoted to the Super League, which is very nice to see. They've been promoted along with Faro Constanta from Romania and Partizan from Serbia. So can Partizan finally stay in the Super League for a long period of time? I don't think any Serbian club has won a trophy so far, to be honest. Maybe Red Star have won one, I'm not sure on the top of my head here, but Partizan certainly haven't. So the Serbian clubs have been very disappointing so far, it has to be said. But nice to see Zimbru Chisinau from Moldova getting promoted to the Super League. Also, if we actually look at relegated clubs here, well, Lokomotiv Plovdiv, who are one of the bigger Bulgarian clubs, have been relegated to the 3rd tier, along with KF Tirana from Albania. Well, into the Balkan Cup, and Dinamo won the Balkan Cup in 2049, followed by Faro Constanta from Romania, who won their first cup, I believe, in 2050. Steaua won it a year later in 2051, but Osijek have won back-to-back Balkan Cups in 52 and 53. Into the Super Cup, and Hajduk were dominant. They won 3 Super Cups in a row from 2049 to 2051. 51. Steaua won 1, and Osijek are the latest champions. 35 seasons played now, and it's changed again in terms of the biggest team from the region here, and PAOK are now the biggest club from the region. They have now got a 4-star reputation. The only team with a 4-star reputation these days are PAOK, and Hajduk have been knocked off their perch, it seems. In terms of 3.5-star clubs, well, Steaua is still in 2nd place there, followed by 3 Croatian teams in Dinamo, Hajduk and Osijek. Then we have Olympiacos, Besiktas, Başakşehir, Aris and Galatasaray. So Galatasaray still not getting any better. Besiktas are just lingering there as the 6th, 7th biggest club for a long time now. Olympiacos not doing too much. So the biggest teams on the video at the moment, the teams who are winning the most trophies in the latest 5-10 seasons, are these 5 clubs here. So these 5 are doing particularly very well. But PAOK are the biggest team of the region as it stands, from Greece of course, with a 4-star reputation. And the wonder why PAOK are the biggest team at the moment, because they have actually won 4 of the last 5 Super League titles, including 3 in a row from 56 to 58. Also Steaua though made it 3 out of 4 Super League titles for them in 2055. Also the league has climbed to be the 6th biggest league in Europe now, just below the Bundesliga in 5th place there. PAOK actually won the league title by 6 points clear of Hajduk in 2nd place. Then we have Steaua in 3rd, Dinamo in 4th, Osijek in 5th and Olympiacos in 6th place. And in terms of relegated clubs, well, Vardar have been relegated back to the 1st League, but they've done amazing things already. Just to be promoted to the Super League in itself is very impressive from them. They've been promoted 3 or 4 occasions now as well, which is nice. Sozopol as well, that Bulgarian club, have been relegated back to the 1st League as well. And in the 1st League, actually 2 Romanian clubs have been promoted to the Super League this season just gone. Rapid Bucharest finished as champions. They've been promoted along with Universitatea Craiova as well. And look at this big club here in the 1st League. Panathinaikos yet to win a competition, I believe, down in the 1st League these days, so they're doing terribly as well, along with Partizan as well, still in the 1st League of course. Zimbru Chisinau unfortunately have been relegated back to the 1st League, only a mid-table 1st League club these days unfortunately. Lokomotiv Plovdiv managed to get back into the 1st League, only to be relegated again, along with Skendia as well. Into the Balkan Cup, we've had 5 different winners over the last 5 seasons. Steaua won it in 2054. I just mentioned Panathinaikos. They have won their first competition, albeit they're still in the 1st League though. They won it in 2055. Osijek won another cup in 56, followed by Hajduk, and PAOK have won it in 2058. Into the Super Cup, and only 2 teams have won that in the last 5 seasons. Steaua made it 3 Super Cups in a row from 2054 to 2056, and PAOK have won back-to-back Super Cups in the last 2 seasons. We've had another winner of the Europa Conference League, but unfortunately, it's the same club again. Dinamo Zagreb are the only team to win a European trophy so far from the Balkan region. And they've won their 3rd Europa Conference League, beating Lille in the 2055 final. So with only one team has won a European trophy so far, and that is Dinamo Zagreb, who won 3 Europa Conference Leagues. Well, with 15 seasons left to go, the trophy race is definitely heating up at the moment. We've got 2 teams with 12 trophies so far. They are Steaua Bucharest and Besiktas. We then have 3 teams with 13 trophies. They are PAOK, Hajduk and Olympiacos, but still way out in 1st place with 28 trophies are Galatasaray. So can any of these teams just below Galatasaray close the gap going into 40 seasons? Well, 40 seasons played now, and PAOK are still the top team of the Balkan region here. They've actually got a continental reputation now, and still that 4 stars of course. In terms of 3.5-star clubs, well, it seems to have increased over the last 5 seasons. We've got Hajduk there in 2nd place still. And then we've got the other 2 Croatian clubs as well, in Dinamo and Osijek. Then we have Olympiacos, Steaua, Başakşehir, who are yet to win a competition, I believe. Nor Red Star, I don't believe, as well. Then we've got Besiktas, Galatasaray, AEK, FC Rapid Bucharest, and Aris as well. So, well, 13 of the 16 clubs in the Super League have a 3.5-star reputation at least. So it's very tight, the Super League, it has to be said, as you can expect from this Balkan region here. But still, the top teams are PAOK and the 3 Croatian teams. Wow, and I wonder why PAOK are still the top boys of the Balkan region here, because they actually matched Galatasaray's record of 7 Super Leagues won in a row. They won 7 in a row from 2056 to 2062. They've finally been stopped though in this latest season just gone by Hajduk, who are back to winning ways in the Super League in 2063. That's their first Super League title since they won 3 in a row back in the late 2040s there. Well, in this latest season just gone, Hajduk finished 3 points clear of Osijek in second place, their Croatian counterparts of course, and FC Rapid Bucharest, the biggest team from Romania these days, above Steaua Bucharest in 3rd position there and qualifying for Champions League football. PAOK only good enough to be in 4th position. Then we have Steaua and Red Star making up the rest of the championship group. So Red Star have definitely come along a little bit in the last 5 seasons. Well, in terms of relegated clubs, well, Ludogorets finished rock bottom of the league this season with just 17 points. Sutjeska been promoted to the Super League, which is nice to see. Sutjeska are actually the 2nd biggest club from Montenegro, so that is very nice to see as well. CSKA Sofia just surviving relegation, and Dinamo, look at Dinamo, not doing very well at all, finished in 4th bottom this season, Dinamo, but they have qualified for Europa League, so they must have won the cup, and Galatasaray not doing much better themselves. Into the First League, and the latest champions have been Rijeka from Croatia. They've been promoted along with a Bosnian club in Zrinjski as well. I don't think a Bosnian club have been in the Super League yet. Maybe they have been one time, but not done particularly very well in the video here. Sarajevo almost being relegated to the 3rd tier, so they're not doing well at all. Also, in terms of big clubs in here, well, Panathinaikos are the biggest club in the First League here, it has to be said. 4th position for them. Unfortunately, Vardar are back down here in the First League, along with a couple of Romanian clubs there as well. Lokomotiv Plovdiv have finally managed to stay in the First League. And also Skendia just surviving relegation here. It looks by results between teams. They actually got a lower goal difference than Septemvri Tervel there in 15th place. Into the cup, and PAOK actually made it back-to-back cups in 2059. They've also won another one in 2062. Osijek won a cup in 2060. I think Besiktas have won their first cup here in 2061, so it took them a long time, it has to be said. And the latest champions are Dinamo. A very poor league season from them, but at least they won a trophy in this latest season. Well, in the Super Cup, and PAOK have been absolutely dominant in the Super Cup as well. They've actually won 4 Super Cups in a row. They've also won 6 of the last 7 Super Cups. Dinamo also won one in 2059, but I can see already that the most closest challengers to Galatasaray, who have gone completely quiet, are PAOK these days, who have been dominant over the last 10 seasons. We've had another Croatian team reach the Europa Conference League final, but it's not Dinamo this time, it is Hajduk. But unfortunately, they have lost the 2063 final to Atlanta. Hopefully, by the end of the video, got 10 seasons left to go here. Can we see another team win a European trophy? That would be nice to see. Well, now the trophy race is certainly heating up, but at the moment with 10 seasons left to go, it seems to be only between 2 clubs. In 3rd place, we have Hajduk with 14 trophies. In 2nd place, we have PAOK now with 23 trophies. And in 1st place, there's still Galatasaray with 26 trophies. I know I said 28 at the last checkpoint there, but I actually miscounted. It's actually 26. So PAOK are only 3 trophies behind Galatasaray with 10 seasons left to go. And seeing as Galatasaray can't win a trophy to save their lives at the moment, it seems, PAOK probably are the favourites to win the most trophies on the video with 10 seasons left to go. But can we see another team be dominant in the Balkan region here? Hajduk won the latest Super League title. They are in 3rd position. Can they go on a streak in the last 10 seasons? With only 5 seasons left to go, PAOK are still the top team from the Balkan region here, but they're joined on 4 stars with Hajduk, both with a continental reputation as well. So these 2 teams are the 2 biggest teams of the region these days, and that's been shown in the Super League wins as well. In terms of the 3rd biggest club these days, that goes to a Romanian club in Rapid Bucharest, who have certainly climbed the reputation very nicely over the last 10-15 seasons or so. So they're doing very well indeed, it has to be said. Then we've got Olympiacos and Osijek, Dinamo, Besiktas, who are the biggest Turkish club these days. Then we've got Steaua, AEK, Red Star, Aris, Besiktas, and Ludogorets. And also Galatasaray don't even have a 3.5-star reputation anymore. They're actually below the reputation, below Sutjeska from Montenegro in terms of reputation these days. So Galatasaray really have fallen off a cliff in the last 25-30 seasons or so. absolutely terrible from them. And in terms of the Super League, there's two teams to talk about, and that is of course PAOK and Hajduk. But actually there's a third team to mention, because Rapid Bucharest won the Super League in 2064. Was that their first Super League win? I think it was. It was their first Super League win. Their second team from Romania and the second team from Bucharest itself. Rapid Bucharest won it in 2064, so that is a great story in itself. After that point though, PAOK won a Super League in 65, Hajduk won back-to-back Super Leagues, and then PAOK are the latest winners again in 2068. And if we look at the latest championship group here, PAOK are actually miles clear of the next best team, 12 points clear of their Greek counterpart Olympiakos in second place there. Rapid Bucharest in third place, and we have Dinamo in fourth, Hajduk in fifth, miles away from PAOK in first place there. And AEK, who have climbed up very nicely in recent times, still been very poor from them. I don't think they've won a competition either, but at least they finished in 6th position. Well, can't say we're too surprised. It's been coming for a long time now. But Galatasaray have finally been relegated from the Super League. It's been a decline, a steady decline over the last 25-30 seasons or so, and they have been relegated to the First League. The biggest club from the Balkan region, now down in the second tier. As you can see there though, they've actually qualified for the Europa League, so it seems like they're back to winning trophies again. They won the Balkan Cup, they must have won the Balkan Cup, or the Europa Conference League in the latest season just gone. They've been relegated along with Zrinjski from Bosnia as well. And in terms of the First League, well, the latest champions have been University Craiova from Romania. They've been promoted along with Vardar as well, of course, from North Macedonia back into the Super League, which is nice to see. Panathinaikos still down here in the First League, along with CSK Sofia as well. And unfortunately, Budoknost, who are actually the other big team from Montenegro, so we've got Sutjeska in the Super League, and their fierce rivals Budoknost have been relegated to the third tier. Well, into the Balkan Cup, and Rapid Bucharest have actually won 2 of the last 5 Balkan Cups in 64 and 67. Hajduk won it in 2065, followed by Dinamo, and Galatasaray, despite finishing bottom of the Super League and being relegated, they did manage to win the Balkan Cup in 2068. So a bittersweet moment for Galatasaray. At least they've won another cup, another trophy in the video, because they didn't win a trophy for a long time. But to be honest, it doesn't seem like they're going to win another trophy in the last 5 seasons. Also, nice to see that the Balkan Cup has climbed to be the 3rd biggest cup in Europe, just below the Portuguese Cup and the English FA Cup. Into the Super Cup, and Dinamo won it in 64. Rapid have also won 2 more Super Cups in 65 and 68. PAOK won it in 66, and Hajduk have won it in 2067. Finally, it has happened. Finally, another team has won a European trophy, and to be honest, we can't be too surprised about the team who has won it. It was PAOK, who won it in 2064, beating Valencia in the Europa Conference League final. Although saying that, it's a little bit surprising seeing PAOK play in the Conference League, since they're very dominant in the actual Super League itself. And of course, if you win the Super League, even in the top 3, you qualify for the next season's Champions League. So disappointing to see them in the Conference League itself, but at least we're finally seeing a different team win the Conference League. Dinamo, of course, have won 3, but now PAOK have won 1. Well, only 5 seasons left to go, and in 3rd place we have Hajduk, who have won 18 trophies now, and in joint 1st place we have Galatasaray and PAOK, who have both won 27 trophies. So to be honest, with 5 seasons left to go, it's going to take something monumental from probably Hajduk to stop PAOK being crowned the biggest club from the Balkan region. Let's be honest, Galatasaray have just won the Balkan Cup, but unless something absolutely ridiculous happens in the last 5 seasons, they are not going to be crowned the champions of the Balkan region. And to be honest, PAOK are strong favourites to win the most trophies, but Hajduk can still stop them, it has to be said. And to be honest, there's a few teams here who they have a dominant last 5 seasons in terms of the Super League, the Cup and the Super Cup, who can still stop them as well, such as Olympiakos. Rapid Bucharest probably too far behind in terms of the trophy race. They're still doing very well though. Dinamo Zagreb, Steaua Bucharest, Besiktas. They can all stop PAOK or Galatasaray in the last 5 seasons. So can we see one of those teams be dominant in the last 5 seasons and stop PAOK being crowned the champions of the Balkan region? Well, 50 seasons are played, and a lovely story to end off the video here, because you actually end off the video with 3 4-star continental reputation teams. The first time we've seen that in the video, and it happens in the last season as well. Hajduk finished off with the biggest team from the Balkan region. Rapid Bucharest in 2nd place, and PAOK in 3rd place. Can't say I'm too surprised. These 3 teams have been the best teams in the last 10 seasons or so. Rapid climbed very nicely, has to be said, and Hajduk and PAOK, both not the biggest teams from their country itself, but they have been very, very consistent in the last 25-30 seasons or so. So can't say I'm too surprised by the top 3 here, but if you said the top 3 at the start of the video, we'll finish off as Hajduk, Rapid Bucharest and PAOK, I would be slightly surprised, I have to be honest. In terms of 3.5-star clubs, well, we've got Osijek, Olympiakos, AEK, Besiktas, Başakşehir, Addis, Vardar, Steaua Bucharest, Zrinjski as well, Dinamo and Galatasaray. So yeah, some nice teams here of 3.5-star reputation, especially Vardar and Zrinjski as well. Both done very nice in the video, it has to be said. Galatasaray end off the video with a 3.5-star reputation, but the lowest 3.5-star reputation team of the lot. Well, in the Super League, and a little bit of a mixed bag here because PAOK made it back-to-back Super League wins in 2069. Osijek won it again in 2070. Hajduk won their last ever Super League title in 2071, and the strongest team at the end were Rapid, who won back-to-back Super League titles in 72 and 73. Unfortunately, they were too far behind in terms of the trophy race to even make the top 3, but a lovely story from them ended off the video as the strongest team from the Super League. Not only are they not the strongest team in Romania, not even the strongest team from the city of Bucharest itself, so a lovely story from them. They actually finished 7 points clear of Hajduk in the end, and a whopping 24 points clear of Olympiakos in 3rd place, so Rapid and Hajduk miles away from the rest of the league here. Başakşehir in 4th place as well, so they ended off the video quite strongly. PAOK in 5th and Besiktas in 6th. In terms of relegated clubs, well, Chavdar, Etchepol, who are a lower Bulgarian club, have been relegated in the final season, along with Red Star Belgrade, who have been very disappointing, it has to be said. Serbian clubs in general have been very, very disappointing. Galatasaray just surviving relegation in this latest season, and Dinamo not doing much better. Into the First League, and the last ever champions of the First League were Panathinaikos. A bit late for them, to be honest. They've been in the First League a long time, done very poorly from the video, Panathinaikos. They've been promoted along with Rika as well. So Jeska just missing out in 3rd position there from Montenegro, of course. Ludogorets done very poorly as well, it has to be said. Partizan, though, probably, well, it's either Partizan or Panathinaikos is the most disappointing team from the video here, because Partizan, 12th in the league in the First League, absolutely terrible from them. Into the Balkan Cup, and Rapid actually won 2 more Balkan Cups as well in 2069 and 2072. AEK won it in 2070, maybe for the first time there. PAOK won another one in 2071 as well, and Başakşehir actually won their 2nd cup in 2073. Into the Super Cup, and PAOK also won 1 more Super Cup. Rapid won 2 more Super Cups. AEK won another one as well, well, their 2nd trophy, I believe. And Hajduk won it in 2072 as well. Well, before we actually count up the trophies won from the teams, let's actually look at the records from the Super League first of all. And the most times won were actually PAOK, who won 12 Super Leagues in total. So not really a massive dominant force from the 50 seasons here. Only 12 trophies wins the most league titles from the video here, which is a little bit low, it has to be said. But PAOK are the strongest team from the Super League at least, winning 12 Super League titles. Interestingly enough, the biggest win actually went to Galatasaray, who beat Rapid 5-0 in 2036. I say it's interesting because Rapid ended off the video as a much stronger team than Galatasaray. The highest scoring match was Hajduk versus Panathinaikos, which finished 5-2. Galatasaray won the most matches in a row with 13 in the 2032 season, and most matches lost in a row went to Steaua, who lost 12 in a row in 2013. Olympiakos, though, win the most games unbeaten. We're going 27 games unbeaten in 2039. And the most matches without winning went to Rika from Croatia, who went 24 games without winning. Hajduk went 7 games without conceding in the 2057 season. And Zrinjski went 9 games without scoring in the same 2057 season. The worst team discipline also went to Galatasaray in the 2060 season. So Galatasaray, past the halfway point, were no better than a mid-table Super League club. Well, in the First League, the most times won of the First League were actually Rika from Croatia, as I mentioned. They won the First League 6 times in total. They also got the most points of the season as well, with 80 points in the first ever First League season. Fewest league defeats in the season went to Dinamo in 2072, with only 2 defeats in that season. So Dinamo Zagreb got relegated to the First League. Another massive club relegated to the First League, along with Galatasaray, of course, but also Red Star, Panathinaikos. A lot of massive clubs have been in the First League. Interestingly enough, the highest attendance in the First League went to Galatasaray versus Steaua Bucharest in 2070, with 58,000 people there. Steaua, it seems like they didn't do too well to end off the video, because they were actually a big team at one point, winning a fair few Super League titles. The most matches won in a row went to Faro Constanta, who won 14 games in a row in the first ever season. Most matches without losing went to Partizan with 24 games without losing. And Sieska actually went 34 games without winning a game in the first ever season. That is very interesting because Sieska ended off the video quite strongly. They're actually a Super League team to end off the video, so they did very well, Sieska from Montenegro. But you'd never think that in the first ever First League season because they were absolutely battered, not winning a single game in the first ever First League season. But they certainly turned themselves around in these 50 seasons here. Most matches without conceding went to Ludogorets, who went 9 games without conceding. Another team who did not do very well at all. The biggest team from Bulgaria never won a competition. Actually, did any team from Bulgaria actually ever win a competition? I don't think they did, to be honest, which is rather shocking in itself, seeing as we're actually based in Bulgaria itself. So the Bulgarian teams did not do well at all here in this experiment video. Also, the worst team discipline went to Galatasaray in the First League as well in the 2069 season. So it seems like the players, the fans, everyone from the club lost their head from Galatasaray. Well, in terms of the Balkan Cup, the team who won the most Balkan Cups in the 50 seasons, here were Galatasaray, who won 9 cups in total. And the team who won the most Super Cups of the video were PAOK, who won 9 Super Cups in total. So let me go count up the team's trophies and let's see who finished off in the top 5. Well, in joint 4th place, we actually have 3 teams who all won 12 trophies. They were Dinamo from Croatia, Steaua from Romania, and Besiktas from Turkey. In 4th place, we have Olympiacos, who won 13 trophies in total, from Greece, of course. In 3rd place, we have Hajduk from Croatia, who won 20 trophies in total. In 2nd place, we have Galatasaray, who won 27 trophies in total. But in 1st place, champions of the Balkan region are PAOK from Greece, who won 30 trophies in total. So let's be honest, PAOK do deserve it. Galatasaray started off dominant. They won 7 Super League titles as well, but past 20-25 seasons, they went absolutely terribly. Just won 1 cup in the last 25 seasons or so, where PAOK were very consistent, albeit though they didn't win the Super League in the last 4 seasons. But PAOK were the most consistent team of the video. But we have to mention Hajduk as well in 3rd place there, finishing off as the champions of Croatia, but also Rapid Bucharest. Although they didn't win as many trophies as their fierce rival Steaua, they actually ended off the video as the strongest team, winning back-to-back Super League titles. Also should mention teams such as Osijek, who won a fair few cups in their day as well. Zrinjski getting promoted to the Super League is great in itself for them, and Vardar as well did very well as well. Zrinjski from Bosnia, Vardar from North Macedonia as well. Olympiacos had their moment as well. They had a great dominant period of 5 to 10 seasons as well. But all in all, the team who are the most consistent and deserve to win the most trophies are PAOK from Greece. So that is the end of this video, guys. As I said before though, if you want to download this database and play as a team for yourself, do follow the link down in the description below, and you can play with any team here, any of the 34 clubs, and start your own save. And also, please remember that if you do like the video, hit that like button for me. It's very important, as I said, for the video's success. And if you're new around here, do hit that subscribe button as well. It'd really help me out, and it's much appreciated. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you for the next one.